Superhumans, hello and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Lori, and our whole goal is to truly guide you in rediscovering your own truth, your aliveness, and your freedom within. Today we're going to look at 5 tips in truly making us the master of our stress through doing a reality check. We're going to do that through doing a 30,000-foot view of our stressors. Tip number 1 is to really become familiar with what those, let's say, top 3 stressors are for you. Those types of situations and things that happen that are truly going to get you going right into reaction and just truly activating your nervous system. Take the time to write them down. This will shine light on them, give them the awareness that they deserve. This is really important because then when they come, we're already aware that this is a stressor for us. So that's making us the master. It's putting us ahead of the stress rather than running from it. Tip number 2 is to continue to become familiar with what are your personal signs of getting stressed when those scenarios start to come up. It could be something physical as in tension in your body. It could be collapsing your chest. It could be you're noticing that you're going around with your shoulders up higher. Maybe you're noticing yourself clenching your jaw. Maybe you're noticing yourself have a higher heart rate and just be more reactive in general. Or maybe you're noticing yourself go deep inside, really get drawn inwardly and starting to feel vulnerable. It doesn't matter what it is, it's just about recognizing that these are your signs and continue to notice the earlier and earlier signs. This really helps us become the master of our stress when we're aware of what those main stressors are and we're aware of earlier and earlier signs that we are getting stressed. Tip number 3 is begin to ground. Begin to do things that help you feel good, that help you bring awareness to what's happening. This can be the way that you talk to yourself. Remind yourself that these situations are temporary, for example, or you might just be talking to yourself and reminding yourself not to be hard on yourself. Telling yourself that everybody has stressors, and this is just really about recognizing our own. You're not alone in this, okay? And you also might do some physical grounding where you might just actually be really kind and gentle with yourself by doing some kind of movements that are grounding you, or just placing a hand on your belly as you breathe, or just walking around, maybe doing a little bit extra movement and exercise, or slowing everything down for that period of time where that kind of situation that stresses you is up. Maybe just breathing a bit slower, being more aware of your breathing, speaking a little bit slow, moving a little bit slow. This really starts to shine light on these stressful moments, and that's what really starts to transcend them and allows you to really awaken to your own truth, recognizing that these are situations that are passing through, these stressful situations, and you're really mastering them. Tip number 4 is to look at this list of stressors and really begin to ask the question, which one of these I might have more control over than I realize? A lot of our situations that get us very stressed are actually created by old behavior patterns that are so automatic that we have no idea that we can actually start to break them. So an example here might be that if one of my big stressors is feeling overwhelmed, feeling behind the 8 ball all the time, being really pushed by deadlines and what is supposed to get done that day, then maybe I can look at where my expectations are on myself. Is it possible that because I've always come from a really overactivated, stimulated nervous system, that I just got used to having such high expectations for myself that I'm actually setting myself up every day? This is a huge one for myself. I truly do and did, because it's both still happening now and has happened a lot in the past, where I expected so much from myself, which looked very common and natural to me to be able to do that. And one day I wanted to do it. It was coming from a place of motivation, but it was still way too much. And so I was setting myself to be disappointed, to feel rushed, to feel behind the 8 ball, and to feel exhausted at the end of the day. And the last tip, number 5, is to again look at the list and determine which ones there don't I have control over. Which ones there have always happened, they are happening, they're always going to continue to happen, and all I can manage is just recognizing that that is the case. So for example, if one of our big stressors is uncertainty, we can stop and look at it from different angles. We can remind ourselves that the uncertainty has to be here, same as all of our other stressors, to help us evolve. To help us evolve into more safety, into trusting ourselves, trusting life more. And so if we weren't pushed with this stress, we wouldn't have a reason to change the way we're thinking, to actually have a look at what our perceptions are and what we might be able to change and gain from this. Instead, we often just want this to go away. We want to know our future, for example. But we never were intended to know our future. This has been a false kind of security. When our nervous systems are overstimulated, we look for safety. We try to create safety for ourselves outside of us through knowing our future, through knowing what's going to happen. But anything we imagine or want to have happen is really just our imagination. It's never going to be that. In fact, it could be better than what we're imagining. So we can use some of these stressors when they come as an opportunity to really recognize this, to really go inward and to sit and feel the safety that exists within you already, the wholeness and completeness that we are already now. And certainly doing practices like TRE, tension release exercises, that naturally down-regulates your nervous system so you're just on the planet in a safer place within yourself, and really unwinds all of this tension from your body, as well as a really great grounding practice, is really going to help create the space within us to be able to do some of these tips and practice some of these tips that we're talking about today. So thanks loads for being here today. I really trust that you heard this at some level that helps create some kind of opening to help you become more and more of the master of your stress and to rediscover your own truth, your aliveness, and your freedom within. Have a wonderful day and see you on the next video. Bye-bye.